Welcome to Envision Broadcasting, the station designed to encourage, equip, and empower you for growth and success presents The Momentum Shift. A show where we get inspired, we get moving, and we get results. Every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with your host, Eric Collier. He's the mayor of motivation and mental quicksand expert, bringing you inspiring interviews and empowering stories that will help to improve lives. If you're ready to start making the impossible possible, then you've joined the right show, because the momentum shift is what you've been looking for.
But I was miserable. I hated what I was doing. But I always wanted to, please my dad. I never said that to him at that point. But even in high school, I was always interested in learning about the human psyche, behaviors, why we behave the way we want. I always wanted to do psychology. That was my passion.
Yeah.
So there was like a clean shift where I moved to London with my husband.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, this is a time that I'm just gonna quit my job. I had a 2-year-old at that time as well.
Welcome to The Momentum Shift, a show where we get inspired, get moving, and get results. My name is Eric Collier. I'm a veteran of the United States Army and Navy. I'm a 2-time Amazon International best-selling co-author, and I'm an entrepreneur. And I love helping people, and I love coaching people. And I've done that successfully for over 20 years because I really want to see people win. And there is no greater feeling of joy than to witness someone who has just experienced that aha moment go on and change their lives and start doing what they thought was impossible and turning it into what is possible for them. So my goal, my mission each week is to simply do this: help improve lives. That's all I want to do. Help you improve your life, because you deserve to live in the greatness that is you. So get ready, because the momentum shift is what you've been waiting for. Hello and welcome to the Momentum Shift podcast and radio show. I'm your host, C. Eric Collier, also known as the Mayor of Motivation, and I'm excited about my guest this week because she's joining me from Texas, right? And I learned how to say her name. Shridhevi Veerappan is joining us. And every week on this show, it's about getting you inspired so that you take action, start getting results, and start changing your life. We want you to create that momentum shift that takes you to another level in your life. So with that, my guest this week is a speaker. She's an author, and she's a coach, and she's a high performance coach at that. So she's really ready to take you and help you elevate yourself to another level. And she's going to share with you some of the strategies, techniques, and tips that she uses to help her coachees and the people that she works with. So with this, let's give a round of applause for our guest this week, Shridhevi. Shridhevi, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I always look forward to having someone on the show who can provide value. And I believe you can provide value after reading a little bit about what you do and how you do it. Parenting coach for career moms. That to me is very important, because when my parents separated, I grew up in my mom's house. Father's still around, but I watched my mom as she had to create a career for herself. She had to create a path, and she cleaned houses. She worked nights on the railroad where she was the only woman around. And she just did all kinds of different things to eventually that personal growth and development that she was in, involving herself in, took her to a level where she became the manager for the 4 project houses in the community. And she had to fight for that. There were times that she was doing the job so good, she was training those people who were coming in to be her supervisor. And eventually she said, look, I believe I'm being discriminated against. You got to give me my shot. And they set her up several times to fail, and she just kept pushing forward. So when I saw that you were helping career moms, I couldn't wait to hear your story, because I know if you're helping career moms, there's something that you've gone through, something you've experienced that you can help the audience with. Am I right?
Yes, and first of all, I just want to say what an amazing mom you have. So
Thank you.
inspirational. Yeah, fighting through all that. That's not easy being a single parent. So hats off to her. She sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's my first motivational speaker and coach.
Yeah, I can see where you get that inspiration from for your career. Yes, for sure. Yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, my story is different from your mom's in a way. I had a different kind of journey. Starting like I was born and brought up in India. So
Okay.
so I moved here, I immigrated. So I'm a first generation immigrant. I moved here in my 20s to the US. So I know it's a cultural thing or anything, but my dad always wanted me to be an engineer or
Okay.
a doctor.
Yeah.
And me, I was like the respectful, the compliant child. That's the way I grew up. I was like, okay, I'll do architecture, but it seemed like a cool engineering profession at that time. So I came here to do my master's in architecture and got a job, hated it, came home in tears, and then somewhere along the line got married as well.
Okay.
But I was miserable. I
Yeah.
hated what I was doing. But I always wanted to, please my dad. I never said that to him at that point. But even in high school, I was always interested in learning about the human psyche, behaviors, why we behave the way we want. I always wanted to do psychology. That was my passion.
Yeah.
So there was like a clean shift where I moved to London with my husband.
You okay?
And then I was like, okay, this is a time that I'm just gonna quit my job. I had a 2-year old at that time as
Okay.
well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But I was unhappy. But I felt like I had a bigger purpose and I wanted to be more than just a mom.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do what I want to do. So like, okay, let's pursue psychology. And that at that time, my dad passed away as well when
Okay.
I was in London. So it was kind of a very big transformative like a moment in my life that I said
Yeah.
this is where I need to make that change. I felt more relieved and that guilt was not there anymore. So I went and pursued my master's in psychology,
Right.
in developmental psychology. I wanted to work with children at first. Then we
Okay.
moved back to the US. Then I got my special education license and I
All
became a
right.
behavior analyst at first.
Okay. I
Yeah,
like it.
so that's let me know if I'm rambling too much, but I'm just trying to
No, no,
get
no,
this.
you're good.
Okay, okay,
I'm just listening.
okay. Yeah,
I
okay.
love that that you're curious about why we do what we do because I
Yes,
am as well. I think it's
yes,
very interesting. And you have to be curious about why you do what you do, that self-awareness piece to be able to elevate your
exactly.
life to another level. So no, please go ahead. I love it.
Okay, sure. So, like I said, I became a behavior analyst, which where I worked with a lot of neurodiverse kids,
Yeah. Okay.
autistic kids, kids with learning disabilities. So I started my work in a clinic, and what I found out was the more parents were involved in their child's process,
Right.
the more impactful it was. So
Okay.
usually a parent would say, "Just work with my kid. He's having challenging behaviors. Just work with them." And but then the parents, when they're not involved, there's not much change
Yes.
happening for their
Right.
child because if you think about it, the child spends most of his time at home
Right.
with parents, and the parents don't have the tools or strategies when they're fighting or when they don't have a great dynamics. It's
Yeah.
affecting their child, so it doesn't work that
Right.
way. So along that path, I worked in schools in the similar situations. I'm like, this is not working. So I
Yeah.
started my private practice last year, and
Well,
my main
congratulations.
focus, thank you so much. My main focus is to work with parents
Okay.
because I realized like even if they come with to me ask saying that I have a child with challenging behaviors, it doesn't have to be it could be neurotypical, neurodiverse child, but I'm like, I need to work with you. If you're
Yeah.
only willing to accept that you are allow me into your life and help you, only then will I be able to help your child.
Yeah.
So that was a
Exactly.
caveat. And then so I worked a lot with parents and that because that's where meaningful change was. And then
Yeah.
it's being a parent is hard. And
Yes,
I
it
know
is.
it's hard for parents to ask for help because they're like then they feel like they failed as a parent, and that's something like everyone is a parent, how hard could it be, right? And it's like
Right.
I don't want to ask help to be a parent. And I get that. I'm a parent myself. So if someone tells me like you need to do this, I don't like it. I'm like,
Right.
well, I honestly, it's
Tell me
just
what I
a
need
human
to do.
emotional thing. Yeah, this is what I need to do. I know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
And so, but so the way I typically approach it is I tell parents it's hard being a parent and you're doing the best you can.
Yeah.
No one wants to have a kid with child. They want the best for their child. Most
Right.
parents do, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
any normal parent wants
Yeah.
what's
Yeah. I mean,
best
they
for
want the
their
best.
child. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's just that they haven't figured out the right way, or they just haven't figured out the right tools. And I'm just a guide or a support person. I ask them what they want in life, because
Yeah.
that's the big thing that I've learned is like, what is your values? What do you want for your family? What do you want for
Yes.
your child? And I'll
Right.
help you, give you the tools to get there. But I
Yeah.
won't tell you do this, this, this. It's a
Right.
choice, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I am, and that's what
Okay.
I do as a parenting coach.
Yeah. I like it.
Thank you.
I like that you said that you're there as a guide. That's
Yes.
important, right? I'm not there to
Yeah.
do it for you. I'm
Yeah.
just there to assist you. And having
Yes.
the parent involved helps because, as a coach, if I'm working with your child on something and then I send them home to you, they
Yeah.
regress, right? Because they know how to
Yes.
manipulate you. They know how to get what
Yes.
they want from you so they can come
Yeah.
back home and not worry about what I taught them. And they'll come back the
Yeah.
next week and go, you know,
Yeah.
or they'll get results with me, and now you're mad at me because I'm getting results and you're not, and then you go, well, he's not working, so you go somebody else.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
So let's work
Yeah.
together, right? It's a we thing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's a we
Yeah,
thing, yes.
yeah,
Because it's a relationship at the end of the day, right? It's relationships is makes two people to be part of a relationship. If it's me or the child, or you as a parent of the child, it's a relationship. So we need to work together.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm spending all this time with your child. I have a
yeah.
lot invested in this as well, and we're
Yes,
building a relationship. And it's
yes.
like you said, we got to do things to really help them move forward. I like it. So we go back to, and I hate to go back to that, but when you had that moment after your father left, it was
Mm-hmm.
that freedom that you didn't have to answer to anybody else that said, okay, it's okay for me to
Yes.
do this, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a challenge. That is a big challenge to go against what you've been taught. Am I correct?
Yes, it all comes down to your belief and identity, right? That's where it all begins.
Yeah.
So when you do something for so long, you feel like that's what you're supposed to do, and that's your identity. So for
Yeah.
me, for a long time, even though I didn't like it, I just came to believe that that was what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
a
just
tough
have to
one.
figure out
Oh yeah.
it's tough. Yeah.
I talk about it all the time. I'm 30
Yeah.
years old and I was getting out of the military and
Yeah.
I was doing just what I was told I always needed to do, right? Had the house,
Yes.
had the salary, had the benefits, had the
Yeah.
family. All right, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just gonna be happy, but you're not. You're
Yeah.
not. There's so much more in you, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so what are some of the things that you have to work with the parent to get them to get that buy-in to really say, okay, I really want to work with you and I'm all in. Take me,
Hmm.
guide me.
Yes. Like I kind of I start out by saying like I'm a parent too, so
Yeah,
parenting is hard.
yeah,
There's no right answers. There's no guidebook to tell
yeah,
you what exactly to do.
yeah,
And it's okay if we fail. It's
yeah,
okay if we make mistakes. It's
yeah,
all trial and error. So that's one thing I tell parents, because sometimes they're so hard on themselves. Like when
yeah.
they try something, it doesn't work out, they're like, okay, maybe it's just me.
You're right.
Everyone else has got it, it's just me. But just giving compassion to yourselves, that's a big thing. Like
Yeah,
being it's okay. Sometimes you're a human being, you might get upset and yell. I mean, ideally you don't want to, but it's
right.
okay. But give yourself grace, learn
Yeah,
from that, and then let's move forward. So giving giving them all those kind of like say telling them all that kind of relieves some pressure. Okay, there's no right way, then like it's okay to make mistakes, like there's no perfect answer, helps. And then I always come up with like goals. Let's set some goals, because
yeah,
another thing we want parents want to see is progress.
right.
And obviously they look at the big picture, like he's still not doing this, they're not still not doing that, but okay, let's take it small. Yes, he's not there yet, but
Yeah,
wasn't he better yesterday? He wasn't able to put toothpaste on his toothbrush. Today he's
Yeah.
able to put toothpaste on his toothbrush. Yes, he's not brushed his teeth as yet, but
Right.
it's just a very
Baby
simple
steps.
example. But I have had that in scenarios too. So let's
Yeah.
take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
And that also relieves pressure from them, because then they start to see small progress and it's less overwhelming for them.
Yeah.
And I'm always there. And the thing is, I'm always there as a support person. So you can call me anytime and ask me questions, so that accountability and support, because parents don't have that support system as
No.
well. So
Oh
yeah, so
no.
that they don't, right? It's
Yeah.
hard. And because both of them are in that picture, so it's not like they can support each other. They both are going through the same emotions, both mom
Right.
and dad. And so if a third person, a very objective third person who has no ties with the family, because that's the other piece, you involve
Oh,
mom-in-laws, dad-in-laws, cousins.
yes.
No, it
Oh
just
my
makes it
goodness.
worse.
Yeah. Because you got these
Everyone,
people in your ear. Well, he should be
yeah,
doing this. He's this age. If you look at the
yes,
book, it says he's supposed, the doctor says this, and you're like, shut up.
yeah. And this is what I did for my child. I mean, it
Yeah,
should work. I don't know why it's not working for you, and that makes you even
exactly.
worse, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm the
Yeah,
worst parent ever.
I
No, you're
know.
not. You
Yeah.
got a different journey as a parent. And
Yes.
we always talk about it, and I think you said it, you touched on it earlier. As a
Mhm.
parent, the tools that you have, you're doing the best that you can do with the tools you have. But
Yes.
at some point, you have to reach out and ask for help. We all do,
Yes.
no matter what we're doing, our career, our health. We always ask, we got to ask for help for somebody because we don't have all the answers. And we
Exactly.
have to be willing to try different things, correct?
Yes. And that
Yeah.
takes a little bit of another piece which I use in my practice is flexible thinking, right?
Ooh, I like that.
Mindset shifting.
Yeah.
Because
That's why you're on here.
one,
Shift the mindset.
yeah,
Let's go.
yeah, it sounds so easy in theory, but it's so hard to practice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, to be flexible, like because we talked about beliefs, right, and
Yeah.
identity, and as adults, we already have like such set beliefs and identity and what we want for a child.
Yeah.
And so we have this rigid rules that we want. This is what expectations and
Yeah.
rules. So sometimes for some parents, it's hard to let
Yeah.
go
Oh,
of
yeah.
those rules and identity. And that's one thing I work a lot with parents, because if you want the behavior change that you want, and if you want what values you want to achieve, are you able to do it the way you are now?
Ooh,
Right? With the same beliefs and rules.
right.
If not, we have to figure out how can you let go. When I say let go, it's like not completely throwing everything out of the window.
Yeah.
What are you willing to compromise? What
There
are
you
you
go.
willing to adjust?
Yeah.
And then be aware, like these are things that work, these are things that don't work.
Yeah.
And that sometimes that awareness creates like, okay, I tried this, though this means so much to me, it's not working.
Yeah.
It's causing more negative and adverse impact for my child and my
Yeah.
family, and I can see the tension, so I have to let go,
Yeah.
So being flexible is a core piece that I work with parents and work with any individual. Actually, it's the core, I
Right.
feel, for
Yeah.
behavior change to happen.
I think that's probably what some people struggle with is,
Yes.
you're told so often, never quit, never give up, right?
Yes.
So you hold on to this one thing that's working, and when it's not
Yes.
working anymore, no, it worked to this point. I know it can work. I know if I keep doing it, it can work. How do you get them to say, hey, look, you've traveled as far as you can with this
Yes.
tool. Now it's
Hmm.
time to move to another tool that's going to elevate this. How do you get them to buy in on that?
Yes. So one thing we talk about is embracing this discomfort, right? So
Okay.
embracing negative feelings. So
Yeah.
change is hard. Like when you do change, when you want to make change happen, it causes a lot of discomfort. For
Yeah.
some people, change is easier than others, but for some who have that, I can't change, it's very, very hard to adapt that mindset.
Yeah.
So we talk about a lot of like embracing those negative feelings of
Mhm.
discomfort. And then again, we talked about workable and non-workable behaviors. Like, okay, I can tell you, I can show you the way, but
Yeah.
it's a choice. It's
Yeah.
a choice that you need to make. So
Yeah.
choice A, if we
Mhm.
continue down this part, like what you said, you've tried this, it worked for some time, and now it's stuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're recognizing that. Great. okay, let's try path B.
Yeah.
And I know path B is causing you a lot of discomfort. It's a path you haven't taken. You're
Yeah.
not sure it's going to work. And you're asking me, like, how do you know it's going to work? I don't know it's going to work. I'm being
Yeah.
honest with you, but you
Right.
tried path A, it's not worked. Let's try something else. It's causing
Right.
you so much distress. Like, and then don't push that distress away. Don't
Yeah.
hide, don't escape from it.
Yeah.
Embrace it. Yes, it's causing you discomfort, but let's go on this journey and see what's of value to you. And
Yeah.
then hold on, let it come on, let the distress and discomfort come on your journey. It's okay. It
Yeah.
doesn't define who you are as a person.
There we
It's
go.
just there. It's not who
Yeah.
you are. So
No,
that's something I talk about with parents.
I like it. And
Yeah.
I'm a John Maxwell certified coach and
Okay.
trainer. So
Yes.
when you talk about all these different things, I'm identifying the law of intuition, right? We can't always
Yes.
explain that this is the right way to go, but in
Yes.
your gut, you feel it, and you just
Yes.
have to go that way. You have to try it, right?
To try
Don't
it.
be
Yeah.
afraid. Don't try to be perfect. Give it a shot. It may work, it may not, but at least
Yes.
give it a shot. I think that's
Yes.
very, very important right there. Um, I think that's huge. A lot of people will be afraid to take the shot unless they see it written down that this is the direct step, the next step that you must take to get it happen. They won't do it,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but everything is not you can't you let me slow down. So we get caught up in the thinking, what I call the mental quicksand, trying to figure things out. But there are some
Yes.
things you just don't have an answer to, but it works.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. And I love the example because I love the quicksand example as well.
Yeah.
Like if you keep fighting in a quicksand, like things you keep sinking,
Yes,
right? Inside the
you do.
quicksand. So just embrace the quicksand is there. Just okay, quicksand, you're there. I'm here. I'm not gonna fight you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's how you can move forward. If the
Yeah,
more you fight, the more you're gonna sink.
yeah,
Like the quicksand example. So
yeah. And,
yes,
and,
and
and, and, and and on that point too, um, what does a lifeguard tell you when you're drowning? Stop fighting,
yeah, don't
right?
stop it.
Stop fighting.
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
here to
Yeah.
save you. I'm here to help you.
Yes.
Stop
Yeah.
fighting. If you keep going, I'm gonna let you go. Right?
Yes.
So,
You're gonna take me with you. I don't want that.
exactly. You're right. I can't go with you. Well, you're gonna have to go.
Yeah.
But I'm here to help you. Stop fighting.
True. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Now, so where are you at now, parenting wise? How old are your children, or how old is your child? I'm just giving you kids, so I don't know.
Yes. Children
So,
is right.
what's that? Children?
Children was right. Yeah, I have
Okay.
two.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a
So how old are they?
16-year-old.
Say
Yeah.
again?
I have a 16-year-old boy,
Okay.
a junior,
All
and I
right.
have a 9-year-old daughter.
Okay.
So there's two, and I have two rescue fur babies as well.
Okay.
Girls, Toast and Brie. There's four of us, and then my
Okay.
husband.
Okay.
It's a
All right.
uh
So
yeah.
so now what moms want to know, how do you balance all of this? How do you spend time with your practice, your kids, and your husband and you and me time, all of that stuff? How
And the
do you
dogs,
balance
yeah.
all this? Cal God,
Yes,
take me away, right?
yes, God take me away. I have those moments of like, please God, just let me. Yeah, I need a moment. Yes, it's a dance.
Okay.
So I'm homeschooling my daughter at this point. So this is the first year I'm homeschooling. So my balance is kind of changing at this point.
Okay.
But what I try to do is what I practice is like what is most important to me and prioritizing what is most important to me. So for
Okay.
me, the next couple of years, I want to spend more time with my son. He's
Yeah, yeah,
going off
'cause
to college in a couple
Mom,
of
I want to
years. So
drive. Mom, I can't wait till I get to college. Mom.
yes, yes, he's already driving, so I
Oh,
don't
wow.
see him as much. So I feel like the independence is there, which I love for him, but
Yeah,
I do want to spend more time with him. So
yeah,
that's a high priority on my list.
got you.
So so prioritize the luxury I have is since I have my own private practice, my schedule is flexible. I
Okay,
set my schedule,
I like
which
it.
is amazing.
Yeah,
So I do my schedule in such a way that my evenings, my afternoons are available for my child, for my kids.
Okay.
To spend more time with them. So that's kind of like prioritizing, knowing what your values are,
Yeah.
and then putting steps like, okay, if I want step one is spending more time with my kids, what can I do to achieve that?
Yeah.
And then step two is I don't want to compromise. I'm doing something new at
Yeah.
work, but I don't want
Right.
to take a step back there too.
Yeah.
So how can I achieve that without compromising the first part?
Yeah.
But still, that's number one and this number two. So
Okay.
that's how I look at it. I prioritize things.
Okay.
And that's one thing I this is a question that comes for me all the times, and I work with career moms. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, it's hard to balance. And then we make a list, top 5 things.
Okay.
Where are you at now
Yeah.
from a scale to 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, and where
Gotcha.
do you want to be?
Okay.
Right? So moms, they look at this list and they're at a 10 for spending time with their kids, but they're only at a 4 right now.
Ooh, okay.
In terms of a job, they are at an 8,
Okay.
where they are, but they want to be at a 6, right? You see the imbalance. Then when you look at
Yeah.
the imbalance, do you see an imbalance there? And then it's visually placed, when we put numbers to things. I know it's not concrete, but it's a visual reminder of the imbalance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we kind of figure out, like, what can we do?
Yeah.
What can we do to balance this? And there's a solution to every problem.
Right.
So the solution to, if you're coming back home from a long day of work and you want to spend time with your child, but then you have dishes and things like that,
Yeah.
don't forget about the dishes, right?
Right.
Don't go there, don't cook, or get help, or do some meal prep over the weekend so you're not cooking. And like, there's always a solution to every problem so that you
There we
can
go.
balance those scales. Balance.
Say that one more time, please.
I said there's always a way to balance the scales, right?
There we
And then,
go.
yeah.
Always a
And
way.
there's always a way. And then balance is hard. When we talk about balance, it's a hard thing. I talk about harmony more than balance.
Yeah.
Because when you think about balance, it's stressful. Like, I need to balance this and this. It makes it
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah.
Let's find a sweet spot,
There
or
we
a
go.
place where we all are happy and harmonious,
Yeah.
work and life, and let's see how we can get there.
There we go. Yeah, because
Yeah.
if everything's balanced, then you've got really nothing going on, right?
Yes,
And that's not
yeah,
true, right?
it's
You,
not true.
yeah, you're not growing. You're
Mhm.
you're pretty much
You're just
stagnant.
like, yes, yeah.
Oh
We just
man.
want to, yeah, we just want to be in a place where we're not tearing each other's hair out
Yeah,
and feeling
yeah.
sad.
Right.
Yeah.
You go to your room, you go to your room, you go to your room,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
going to
really,
mine.
yeah. Do not bother me. Yeah. So,
Right. Do not disturb.
yeah.
And I think
Exactly.
you talked about that. You just basically talked about the law of prioritizing, right?
Mhm.
The law of prioritizing. That's huge. Many of us
Yes.
don't prioritize our own self-care, right? Our own, and we just keep going. We're catering to everybody else, but we
Mhm.
never take care of ourselves. Can you
Exactly.
talk a little bit about how important that is to, I guess, the inner you, right? I guess because you got the mental side, you got your
Mhm.
body, right? Mind,
Mhm.
body, and soul, right? Can you talk a
Yes.
little bit about how important it is to, do you have a routine that you have every morning to kind of get yourself, all right, let's go. This is the game plan. I'm
This is
at
the
peace
game
with
plan.
myself, right? I'm at peace with myself. This is what I'm gonna knock
Yes.
out. Just talk to me a little bit about a routine that you might have.
Yes. And that is, my routine changes every day a little bit, but I do have a set of habits that I like to follow.
Yeah.
One, when I wake up in the morning, I don't look at my phone.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah. For the
There we
first 20
go.
minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
So I start, and I don't drink coffee. So
Okay.
these are some of the habits I cut, because
And somebody's
usually
gonna say, she's crazy. She don't drink coffee.
no, I do drink coffee, not just when I wake up and I jump, because that's what I was doing. I wake up
Okay.
and jump to the coffee machine with my
Yeah.
phone in my hand. And it was very
Gotcha.
stressful. So I
Okay.
go, I get up, and then I drink a glass of water, and I just do like 5 minutes of just self-reflection. It could be anything. I just sit, maybe just, it's my quiet time.
Quiet
Except my
time.
dogs are up, so I just have
Yeah.
a bit of quiet time, relaxation time. And then after 30 minutes, I drink my coffee, and then I look at something. There are
Okay.
days I realize that when I don't drink coffee right away, there are days I forget to drink coffee.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't need it
wow.
anymore.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of research that shows that because coffee's like a band-aid, like you get up and it gives an instant awakening, but you
Right.
don't, but then your brain just goes back. Your brain doesn't naturally awake. So I realized there's research that showed us like, I'm just going to try that. And it really works. Like if
So
you
you
don't
just,
drink coffee,
oh,
yeah,
so
you
you
don't
just
drink coffee.
said, you
Yeah.
just said something that just made me think about something.
Yeah.
You said
What
something
is
that
it?
made me think about something. You said there are days that you get up and you don't even drink coffee.
Yes.
So I think you're proving a point to me, and I think many others that, well, I guess if I ask the question first, then you can tell us. Is it
Okay.
that is it that you don't drink coffee because you have something that you're so focused on and you're so in tune and moving forward with that you're just not worrying about anything? You're in the zone?
I think that's part of it. And part of it is I'm letting my brain naturally wake up. So my brain's learned that I'm giving my time for my brain to wake up. So it's energized on its own. It's
Uh,
not neat. It's so coffee was a crutch for it to wake up. And now I'm letting my brain wake up on its own.
yeah,
And it's basically backed by research as well. I was like, okay, brain. So my brain is already fired up to go.
yeah,
I do. I work out 4 days a week. I love working out, so that's part of my routine, and that's part of my who I am as well. It's not like I do any intense, crazy workout. I just do
right,
like a 20 to 45 minute like Pilates or some kind of exercise, which
right,
I love because there are days I get up, I'm like, I don't want to work out, but I know
yeah,
the benefits when I work out. I feel more energized. I'm more in the zone. So
yeah.
again, my values, like I
There we
know
go.
if I work out, I feel better. My day is great.
Yeah.
So yes,
Wow. And you just kind of
I
feel out of sorts when you don't, right?
and I feel out of sorts, and and I don't like I didn't like doing this in the past, but I do it now. Is like putting everything on a calendar. I
Mm,
have everything on my calendar, even my workout time. It's
yeah.
everything's blocked out. That's how everyone's brain works differently, but this is how my brain works. So when I see those allotted time slots, it calms me down because
Got you.
I know what to expect in that day.
Yeah.
I don't like surprises. I'm a planner. I like to
Okay.
think and do
Yeah.
things. So
Okay.
it kind of helps. And everyone's personality is different. My husband works very differently from I do, and I
Yeah.
can't imagine how he works like that. But that's how I
I can't imagine.
that's how
I just don't understand what he's doing and how he's
yeah,
keeping
I
track
have
of
no, yeah, I don't know. Like what? Yeah, anyway. So again,
it.
letting it
Yeah.
go. So same thing, accepting those feelings like it's okay.
Yeah. So it sounds like you like the planning part of it. You like to
I like
dive into the weeds of the
yeah,
processes
yes.
and everything else. Whereas
Yeah.
he may be somebody who is just like, hey, I'm going with the flow. I don't have to write it
Mm-hmm.
down. This is it. What's going on? Big picture,
Yes.
big picture type
Big
of guy.
picture, yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what I learned as well. That's why I don't tell people what to do because everyone has a different way, a style of doing
Yeah.
things. This is
Yeah.
my style, so it's not fair to tell someone who's does not like that structure, like you need to put it on the calendar, and they're like, okay, I will do it. And then 2 days later, like, I can't do this, because that's not how they operate. I mean, in the end, like I said, it's what you want. And if you're getting there, perfect. Doesn't matter how you get there, you're getting
Yeah.
there in your
Right.
way. So I
Right.
just help you, guide you there. So
Yeah. Like I
I
like
do
it. You
it,
have your own style. What works for
yeah,
me doesn't work for you. You have to
yeah,
find your own way.
in your own way, yes.
Yeah.
And we can find it together too. If you don't know what it is, we'll figure out something that gels with you, that,
Yeah.
that
I,
connects with you. Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. So how long do you normally find yourself working with these with the parents and the kid and this and their child, or is it a 6 month or is it a year? How long? I mean, how long do you actually keep going with them?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if I'm getting results, hey, we're
Mhm.
rolling out for a long time,
Yes.
right? Right?
It's always ongoing. So the way
Yeah.
it works is I don't typically I do sometimes like a package, like a 3 month like packages, because sometimes it works. Parents feel they know I give them the program and what it looks like and things like
Yeah.
that. But it's always ongoing. So it
Yeah.
usually starts like once a week, and then when you see progress, it's once every 2 weeks, and then
Yeah.
once every month. And then parents are always checking in, and then if there's some regression, we always meet back. So it's a very fluid, organic, flexible process. So
Yeah.
so far no one's said that they were leaving me and going out to someone else, which is a good thing, which validates what I'm doing is helping. So
Yeah.
I mean, there are parents who don't come back, but they
Yeah.
because they feel comfortable in what they're doing. But
Yeah.
there's ongoing support all the time at
Yeah.
different stages
Yeah.
and intensities. Yeah.
So with that, so I like what you're talking about here. I love it. You know, you're following what feels great to you, what hits
Yes.
your values. You're doing those
Yes.
things that mean a lot to you, and I love it.
Yes.
You kind of found your purpose in life, right? You can be,
Thank
and
you.
you're proving that I can be a mom, I can be a wife, I can be
Yeah.
a puppy mom, I can be,
Yeah.
I can
Indeed.
help others, and I can
Yes.
do this. So for everybody who's thinking that, whoa, that's a lot, there's a way to be able to manage it, right?
Yes.
Or what did you say? You said there was a word that you used. We'll say manage it until I figure it out, and it'll come to me, and we'll be in the middle of a
Yeah.
conversation, and it'll jump out, and
Yes.
I'll go, that's it.
Yes. I'm
But
thinking what I said. I don't remember either, but okay.
prioritizing, there we go. See, I told you that's how
Prioritizing it, yes. Prioritizing, yes.
prioritizing it, and it's
Yeah.
important. So,
Yes.
so talk to me a little bit about like where you see yourself taking this. What is the big vision for you?
The big vision for me is we talked about self-care, right? Like you asked me what I do to take care of myself. So my
Yeah.
next step is I really want to work with not just parents, but mostly women, on taking care of their health, on taking
Okay.
care of themselves as a person, because I don't know if it's a cultural thing or it's just a woman, a natural thing. Like we
Yeah.
always give, and just the nurturing instinct in many of us that we don't take care of ourselves. So I'm also a certified health and life coach as well. So
Yeah.
I'm looking in women's health, in a more holistic approach of, exercise and, diet, not dieting, but sleep,
Yeah.
things like that, your relationship with food,
Okay.
and things like that, and how that it impacts you, which in turn impacts your relationships with families and things.
Yeah.
When you have low energy, it's hard to do. I mean, we can talk about all these things, but when you are exhausted, low energy, don't feel great about yourself internally, it's hard to engage in those behaviors of
Yeah.
helping your family. So that's what I'm seeing my shift a little bit,
Yeah.
is working on the health aspect of, especially for women,
Yeah.
professional women.
Yeah.
That's kind of my niche, and I started working with that, and I feel like it's helping. It's
Yeah.
being a positive, and I enjoy it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my vision.
I like it. I love it.
Yeah, yeah,
I love it. 'Cause, you just talked about something. You talked a lot about health and
yes,
about how it might be in the culture where women don't take care of themselves.
yeah,
Can you talk a little bit about masking? You know where I'm going with that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of mask our happiness and unhappiness, and that kind of plays the role of how you doing today, babe? How's everything going? I'm fine,
Hmm. Yes,
right? But you're not.
yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how that plays in the role of maybe not great health practice?
Yes. I mean, we do that a lot. And I catch myself doing that as well. And I stop and rethink that, because I think it's something to do with guilt. Like
Yeah,
if we acknowledge that we need help, there's some guilt associated with that acknowledgement that, okay, I'm a failure as a
uh,
parent, as a mom, as a wife, as a working thing. And there are so many people around me. That's the hard thing. You always compare ourselves to people around us, thinking
yeah,
that they've got it. They're doing such an amazing job. They're doing much more than I am, and they look happy.
right,
Why do I need help? Why do I, feel this way? And I'm just gonna, live with it, and it's
yeah,
it's all gonna work out. And that's a hard thing, because we don't know. Everyone is masking in some way, right? The other
yeah,
person you're looking at is also could be masking in some way.
yeah,
And that's something which usually that's why coaching is so important, because when you start talking when you start talking about it aloud,
Yeah.
you start unpacking things. When you start
Yeah.
unpacking things, then it comes out what you feel. And that's one thing, and that's hard because you need to have trust and you need to feel safe with that person to share. And it's hard to do that with a partner because your partner's maybe they're having their own masking thing. They're going through stuff too. So it's
Right.
hard to have that open conversation with
Yeah.
a partner. But with a coach, it's easier because once you feel that safe space and that trust and rapport, you're able to talk about it. And I think most of the masking is just of guilt of so
Yeah.
that
Yeah, it's a tough one, and sometimes the people we're with can cause that masking part as well, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
can lead us to that. Can you talk a little bit about, for those who aren't really sure what coaching is and compared to mentoring, can you explain that a little bit to them?
Yes, so coaching and therapy, that I think that's a great distinction. So therapy talks about looking at your past,
Yeah.
looking at all your thoughts and feelings, your trauma, your grief, and just realizing the awareness of what
Yeah.
that is. But
Yeah.
at coaching, I love it because it's looking forward.
Yeah.
What can you do next, right? It's what kind of behavior changes can I help you to move towards Z? So
Yeah.
you have some X, but not that we're not gonna, there is a little bit of overlap. Not that I'm gonna think about why you have not reached where you are. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about that, but the focus in coaching is behavior change, is
Yeah.
how do I get you there? And what
Right.
can we do to help you get you there
Gotcha.
as a guide, like a support person? So
Yeah.
that is the difference in coaching and a mentor is there. A coach is like a mentor, could be a mentor too. I think
Yeah.
so to a
Yeah.
certain extent, but a coaching has a more intentional role. Like they're there in every step of your
Yeah.
whereas a mentor you can check in with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's why I love the coaching piece compared to the therapy piece because you can actually, because that's what people want in the end. Yes, I want to know what's going on, but I want change. I want to move towards this direction.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think I think it's great too to have a coach that understands why we do what we do, because
exactly. Yeah,
that's the important part, right? I can have
yeah.
a coach who can sit there and answer my questions or kind of guide me through things,
Hmm.
but if somebody who can actually talk to me about why I do what I do is
Exactly.
important. And I'm
Hmm.
also DISC certified, and so DISC, understanding your personality. So when you talked about how you're a C style, sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so sounds like, and so when you start talking about that, I understand what you're talking about, that personality style. That's a
Yeah.
huge self-awareness piece that helps you
Yeah.
understand you a little bit better, your strengths, what you need in communication, what you need
Hmm.
in guidance, all those different things that'll help you move forward. So I'm loving that. And I can talk to you all day. I am
So can
loving this so much.
I.
I'm loving this so much. I'm so glad we got a chance to talk, because I think, like I said, your story, what you just talked about today, so many moms are looking for this information. There are people who are going through life and they're
Hmm.
thinking there's something better, and they don't know how to
Yes.
get started. They don't know what to do
Yes.
next. And so
Yeah.
I want to encourage them to reach out to you. Can you share a little bit of your information? Well, not share a little bit, but share your information, how they can
Yes.
contact you, and
Yes.
tell us a little bit about what you have going on, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Yes. So the easiest way to reach me is through my website because all the information is there. It's Being You, BEINGU, Being You LLC .com.
Okay.
And or you could just reach me on, I'm a very email person, so you could reach me on my email, which is the same thing, beingyoullc@gmail.com, which is another great piece. What I have going on is you can schedule a discovery call with me. I have a 20-minute discovery call. We can talk. I do virtual meetings and we can take it from there. I can point you in the right direction, give you resources and things like that. So I can share my Calendly link as well with you,
Okay.
Eric, if you want. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
would be another way to reach out.
Cool. I will add that to the description. And what
Yes.
do you have coming up next? Well, I think we already said that.
Yes.
What what would you like to leave the audience with today? The largest gap an individual will face is the gap that stands between where they are now and what they could become. So the question becomes, are you willing to climb? The greatest trick
the mind will ever pull is convincing you that your greatness does not exist. Mama used to say, she said, Eric, what you do in the dark will come out in the light. And she means that you reap what you sow. You get what you put in. And so you got to put the work in. Why? Because you're going to step your game up and tap into that untapped potential of yours and become the greatest person that you can possibly become. I woke up, I was about to lose everything. And so my wife was about to leave me, and that meant my 3 children were going to be gone, which really hurt me because I would fall short on the promise to my kids, where I told them that I was their father. Nobody would ever be in the house taking care of them. Nobody would be responsible for them. They never had to worry about calling anybody daddy but me. Momentum shift. When you get stuck, you got to find a way to get going. And that is all about elevating your performance. You have to realize that high-level results are not products of low-level effort. So you got to step your game up. So you get stuck, you got to get yourself moving. And when you're down in the dumps, you're the only one that's going to be there. So you got to be your own hype man. Happens is when you don't realize that you have all that you ever need to create the life that you want to live, you're missing out. You're standing at the base of that mountain thinking and hoping somebody's going to save you when all you got to do is take action. Theodore Roosevelt said, he said that the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena with their face marred in dust with sweat and blood. You got to get into the arena, claim your moment, take the opportunity to take your shot. Then when you're in that arena, think about this. I got to step my game up.
Eric's message was extremely powerful.
The power of overcoming is not just connected to you. You're rising because the people behind you are counting on you. Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
Oh, don't forget your podcast. You got a podcast, right?
Yes, I do have a podcast. So it's called the SV Story, the SV Show, Her Story in the Making podcast. So it's about a platform for women from all walks of life who's overcome obstacles and are doing what's meaningful for them. So I interview anyone who has a wonderful story, a unique story to share. Yeah. And I love it. It's my baby hobby that I have on the side. So I love that. So that's going on for me. And all these, I also have a book called Who and I, Feeling Sad. It's on Amazon, and it's a book about just what we talked about, embracing those strong and powerful emotions and how we can move on from there and do what we love. My 9-year-old drew all the pictures for that book. She's the illustrator.
Oh, wow.
She was
Sweet.
8. So it's nice to see. Yeah, it was so nice to see how the characters respond and look from her point of view, her perspective. So it was very different from what I thought. So it's that kind of tells you how we think so differently as humans. So that's a great book for all ages because it's very lot of pictures and stuff. So those are the 2 things that I do apart from coaching. In terms of coaching, like I said, I do a lot of one-on-one. That's my jam. So you can reach out to me. I'm hoping to do a workshop soon, but nothing concrete as yet.
Okay. Now you just touched on some of my favorite question I did not ask, and you brought it up. So your momentum shift created a shift for those who come after you. What have you noticed with your family after shifting your whole direction in life?
That's a great question. So, well, my husband, I got inspiration from him because he made his first momentum shift as well. He was an engineer, and then he shifted into business, which took us to London, which gave me inspiration. Like if he could do it, I can do it as well. So he was kind of my inspiration to do that momentum shift as well.
Right.
My kids, my daughter, she thinks I'm a cool parent now. She's like, you have a podcast? You're on social media? I never had an Instagram. I was like now last 2 years. And she's like, oh man, she thinks I'm really cool. She comes to me, and my son is a very quiet, reserved person. So he has a hard time with change. So I'm hoping eventually that he sees me doing all this thing and then being brave about it and being okay because I failed. Being okay to, I won't say fail, but not made progress, but, still at it every day, I'm hoping that will set a positive example for him, because he's at the age like, I need to do this, I need to go to this college, he's that framework. But I'm hoping if things don't go his way, he can always look back and say, okay, what can I do next, and move forward. So I'm hoping it's a positive impact for my kids. I hope.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. I think you're on the path doing some great things, and you're going to leave a legacy that is going to change some things in the future for your family. And I think you'll be able to see that as well as you get older, right? As we start getting the grandkids coming in.
Oh my goodness, don't start about that. Oh no, yes.
Right.
Hopefully by then, yes.
Ways away.
Yes.
And that's why we do things. Our gift is not for us. Our gift is for others. And you're sharing it, and you're moving on in your journey. You are truly a momentum shifter. And I want to thank you, Shridhevi, for joining me today. I'm very happy about this. I've really enjoyed this interview, and I can't wait for everybody to hear it. It's awesome. So
I loved it too. I'm just smiling. It's one of the most fun I've had, and thank you for making it fun.
Cool. Thank you very much. So with that, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for the Momentum Shift. Momentum Shift podcast and radio show. A show designed to get you inspired, get you moving so you can get results, because we want you to shift yourself into that new reality that you once believed to be impossible. Until next week, always just keep pushing. I'm C. Eric Collier, and this is my guest, Shridhevi Veerappan, has joined us. So take care. We'll see you next week. Welcome to the Momentum Shift, a show where we get inspired, get moving, and get results. My name is Eric Collier. I'm a veteran of the United States Army and Navy. I'm a 2-time Amazon International best-selling co-author, and I'm an entrepreneur. And I love helping people, and I love coaching people. And I've done that successfully for over 20 years because I really want to see people win. And there is no greater feeling of joy than to witness someone who has just experienced that aha moment go on and change their lives and start doing what they thought was impossible and turning it into what is possible for them. So my goal, my mission each week is to simply do this: help improve lives. That's all I want to do. Help you improve your life, because you deserve to live in the greatness that is you. So get ready, because the momentum shift is what you've been waiting for. I'm a big boxing fan, and I love it. You see a fighter come out of that corner, he's banging his gloves, beating himself up. You know why? Because he's ready to go. And you know what he's saying to himself? He's saying, this is my round. This is my fight. This is my opportunity to turn this round, and I'm taking this jump out. And that's what you got to do every day. You know why? Because the struggle is real, and you're facing some real challenges. The big challenge is adversity. Adversity hits you, and you got to find your way out. And here's another one. Your mindset, the negativity, doubt, fear, and worry, it's going to hit you hard, and it's going to hit you consistently. So you got to find something to tell yourself, to remind yourself to keep going. And that is, this is my opportunity. I was built for this. This is my round. I'm about to take this chump out. And your chump you facing, like I said, is adversity and that negative mindset of yours. So I want you to tell yourself on a daily basis, I'm built for this. Can't nobody stop me. No weapon formed against me will ever stop me. And all you got to do is step out of that ring. If you got to beat yourself up in the morning to remind yourself, do that. But you got to do something and find something to keep you going, because sitting in the corner whining about it is not going to get it done. Complaining to other people is not going to get it done. And sitting there doing nothing is going to keep you where you're at. So you got to get up every morning and know, I'm built for this. This is my round, my opportunity, and I'm taking that chump out. Let's go.
Thank you for joining The Momentum Shift, a show bringing you interviews and stories of incredible people to help you get inspired, get moving, and get results to ultimately create the life-changing momentum shift that will improve your life. Join host Eric Collier, the mayor of motivation and mental quicksand expert, every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern for The Momentum Shift, the show and change you've been looking for.